With their playoff lives on the line, the 49ers delivered a big win over the Houston Texans on Sunday. But it's the play of rookie quarterback Trey Lance that everyone is talking about. This is the third time we've seen Lance this season. He played a half against Seattle in Week 4, and then the whole game against Arizona in Week 5, and then now against the Houston Texans. And there is absolutely no doubt that Trey Lance has improved each and every time he has stepped on the field. In this game, he started out a little bit shaky at first, but then he started delivering some big-time throws as the game went on. We're going to see all of it when we take a look at the film, where Lance needs to improve, and why the coaches are so excited about his abilities. Let's get right into it. The 49ers start the game off with a couple of handoffs, first to Elijah Mitchell, and then to Deebo Samuel. Now they don't really gain a lot of yards. In fact, it sets up a 3rd down and 10. And the 49ers show no hesitation in having Lance throw the football. There is no running back in the backfield. This isn't going to be a draw. It's not going to be a screen pass to a running back. They're coming out firing. Now right here, he has Brandon Aiyuk if he wants him. But Lance feels the pressure of defensive end Jacob Martin, who has beaten Tom Compton. And if nothing else, this says about Lance that he has great pocket presence. And we've seen this already in the Arizona Cardinals game. He can feel those defensive linemen around them and escape. And not all quarterbacks have this. Some of you older fans probably remember Rams quarterback Jim Everett taking a phantom dive in the 1989 NFC Championship game against the 49ers. Getting back to Trey Lance, one thing I would have liked to have seen him do here was step up in the pocket and then take that easy throw to Aiyuk for the 1st down. Instead, he decides to scramble. And I don't want to criticize him too harshly. He hasn't been on the field. Remember, this is only his, 4th game in the last 2 years? So by now the defense has had a chance to recover, and watch how quickly this window to Aiyuk closes. So Trey Lance decides to take off with the football and try to get the 1st down. And he comes up short. Now the Texans offense did virtually nothing on Sunday, and they would end up punting back to the 49ers, who are facing a key 3rd down and 2 here. And again, the 49ers put the ball in Trey Lance's hands, with a play that we've all become familiar with, the zone read. And at first the defense looks like they're going after the running back, so Lance pulls the ball back and takes off. But defenses have gotten better at defending this play over the last few years, and Lance gets blown up on this play. You know, it occurred to me as I was watching this game that as 49er fans, we've all been so used to seeing Colin Kaepernick run the football. But as we discussed in the Arizona game, Lance doesn't necessarily run to gain yardage. Instead, he scrambles looking to throw downfield. Running might not be his strength in the same way that it is for other quarterbacks. Now, he had some big runs at North Dakota State where he was able to kind of bowl over some linebackers, but that's not going to happen in the NFL. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. Cam Newton is a great runner, but he's had a shorter career and sustained a lot of hits to that body. Trey Lance, on the other hand, is more of a passer in the mold of Aaron Rodgers or Josh Allen. I wouldn't be surprised if Shanahan ends up moving away from too many of those runs, an adjustment he made in this game, as a matter of fact. Ultimately, the Texans would take over, they can't move the ball again, and again they punt back to the 49ers, who are backed up on their own goal line. His back foot hits and he has to take Kittle right now. Kittle might not reach the line to gain, but it's only 2nd down, so that's okay. He has to take this throw. Instead, Lance gets happy feet and the window closes. Now, this is a pretty dangerous thing to do down on your own goal line. And remember, if the offensive lineman even so much as hold, it's a safety, which gives the Texans 2 points and the ball. But Lance, again, shows off his ability to buy time. He scrambles, looking to throw downfield. And Brandon Aiyuk sees his quarterback scrambling, and I love what Aiyuk does here. He turns around and bumps into the defender on purpose so that he can create separation and get open for a pass. The play gives the 49ers a first down, and this drive would continue. Here, they put a man in motion, and when the Texans send somebody with him, that gives the 49ers a pretty good idea that this is man-to-man coverage. That means when Trent Sherfield cuts all the way across the field, Terrence Mitchell is going to have to go with him. A very difficult play for a corner. Now again, Lance has Kittle wide open here, and he has got to take this throw on first down. Instead, he hesitates. And with a man in his face, he comes to his second read, which is Sherfield. And this angle gives us a great look at Lance's throwing motion. He has that long windup, that low swing of the arm, and there's been some debate about this, whether they need to change it or quote-unquote fix it. I'm not so convinced personally. I remember back when Randall Cunningham was playing in the 80s and 90s, and he had that kind of same sidearm motion, and it wasn't a problem. Here Lance slings the ball out to Sherfield while falling backwards. An impressive throw, and it gives the 49ers another first down. One more thing. Watch how Lance pats the ball here to get Jacob Martin to jump in the air, giving himself room to throw this football. Very impressive. This play, we get a great idea of where Lance needs to improve, but also his raw football ability, which is what the 49ers are so excited about. Now, unfortunately, the 49ers weren't able to do anything else on that drive, and they end up punting to Houston, and Houston ends up not doing anything again. So the score remains 0-0, and the Texans punt back to the 49ers, and we're in the second quarter now. And let's take a look at a key play in this game. Lance's first read is to George Kittle, and he never comes off of that read. And that's too bad, because he had Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel wide open here. Deebo for a touchdown. In fact, Deebo's even sticking his hand up like Jerry Rice used to do. Instead, Lance tries to force this ball into Kittle, and the pass is intercepted. Big mistake by the rookie. Now watch as he puts Deebo in motion and no one goes with him. So the Texans are in a zone, and maybe Lance thought that a hole was going to open up in the zone here for Kittle. But the bottom line is, when a defender is all over somebody like that, you just can't throw that football. The Texans would end up scoring a touchdown, going up 7-0. So far, we've seen the type of mistakes that you would expect to see from a rookie. Hesitation, forcing the ball into a window that isn't really open. But here on this drive, with just 38 seconds to go in the half, Trey Lance starts to show some improvement. Back foot hits, and this ball is out. Now at the end of this play, we get a unique football situation that sometimes comes up in the NFL. You see, the 49ers, with just seconds on the clock, are trying to hurry, go, and so the defense tries a tactic here to hold Deebo Samuel down, not let him get up. You see a call that's rare but does come up on occasion. You see the official reaching for his flag because this is a delay of game on the defense, which stops the clock and gives the 49ers 5 yards. Now he has Kittle open early on this one, but I'm not sure he sees him. And the pocket collapses around him. He shows that great awareness and escapes again, and he does see Deebo Samuel coming across. But he's going to try to throw on the run, and when your feet aren't set, it's harder to make an accurate pass in that situation, and he misses him. So at this point, there's 21 seconds left, and the 49ers still need to get into field goal range. But fortunately, the Houston Texans make a mistake. They have two defenders stick with Deebo Samuel, and they turn Brandon Aiyuk absolutely wide open down the field. And Trey Lance is decisive again. Back foot hits, the ball comes out. Having started this drive with no timeouts, the Niners are moving the ball pretty impressively down the field. And here Lance makes one of his best throws of the game, in my opinion. He starts by looking off the safety and then takes the one-on-one shot to Brandon Aiyuk deep. Now they just missed connecting, but let's go back to the snap and you can see what a great throw this is. Definitely worth mentioning here what a great route this is by Brandon Aiyuk. As we've talked about before, he doesn't run down the boundary. He runs to the inside, giving his quarterback room to lead him to the outside with the football. If you're a young wide receiver, this is how you want to do it. Let the ball fade you. And look how close they came to connecting on that pass. Brandon Aiyuk gets a hand on it, and the defender doesn't. That is a terrific throw by Trey Lance. It just didn't connect. Here, the Houston Texans make another mistake on defense. Now, notice the line of scrimmage is the 31-yard line. So from here, this would be about a 48-yard field goal, right? 31 yards plus the 10 yards for the end zone, and he snapped the ball back 7 yards too. But remember I told you at the start of this drive, the 49ers have no timeouts, so they cannot throw the ball into the middle of the field here. Otherwise, the clock is going to run and the half will end before San Francisco has a chance to kick a field goal. But the Texans stick several defenders in the middle of the field, and that's wrong. Here they need to be concerned about two things and two things only: defending the sideline and defending the end zone. Now they do a good job of defending the end zone, but with the 49ers wanting some more yardage for their field goal attempt, the Texans inexplicably give up the sideline here. And when the 49ers run Michael Hasty out of the backfield, it's going to mean either him or Brandon Aiyuk is open on this play because there's only one defender over there on the sideline. Now fortunately for the Texans, the 49ers make a mistake here. When Trey Lance tries to gun this ball into Aiyuk, maybe he knew time was a factor because there was only 7 seconds at the start of this play, but he needs to make a better throw here. He's extremely fortunate as this ball is almost picked off. Instead, Aiyuk makes a terrific catch and then gets out of bounds with just 3 seconds left. Wow. Ooh, I guess the Niners were the fortunate ones. So ultimately, it leads to this field goal at the end of the half. The score is Texans 7, Niners 3, and that was an impressive drive. Trey Lance leads the team down the field in just 35 seconds with no timeouts. That's pretty good for a rookie. Now I know that drive was a mixed bag. We saw some awesome stuff and we saw some mistakes, but in the second half, Trey Lance would continue to improve. Now again, Lance does a good job of looking off the defense here, and it has the effect of moving the linebacker out of the middle of the field. Back foot hits, but this time Lance adds in an extra step, and the ball is almost late, but Aiyuk makes the catch, and then he bounces off the defender and gains a bunch of yards for the 49ers, and they are off to a great start in the third quarter after Aiyuk gains 43 yards. Now, if you're going to go for the knockout, you have to be sure. Not everybody is Ronnie Lott. And Brandon Aiyuk is having a great game. Now, it's still 7-3, and here the 49ers are facing a key 4th down and 1. They're on the 25, so they could have kicked a field goal here, making it 7-6. Instead, Kyle Shanahan decides to go for it, and the fullback will lead the way for Elijah Mitchell. But let's take a closer look. That's not Kyle Juszczyk, that's George Kittle. And after faking the block, he heads out for a pass. Now Elijah Mitchell, I'm sure, can make an adequate decoy at times, but the Texans weren't necessarily fooled on this one. With nowhere else to go with the football, Trey Lance thinks, what the heck, why not take the one-on-one shot to Aiyuk down the field? What do I have to lose? And I gotta tell you, I love this mentality. Now the pass is broken up, and maybe you can quibble with Shanahan about whether he should have kicked the field goal or gone for the first down. But again, this play failed because of great defense by the Texans. I love that Lance then took the shot to Aiyuk down the field. And so it was that the football gods rewarded the 49ers with an absolute gift on the very next possession. Facing immense pressure from Arden Key, Davis Mills tries to force this football into Chris Conley. Marcel Harris simply steps in front of the pass and picks it off. Now here's where things get weird. Harris starts trying to gain some yardage, and when he does, he fumbles the football and the Houston Texans get it back. But in the strangest ruling I've seen in a long time, the officials rule that his forward progress was stopped and award possession of the football to the 49ers. This was a bad call, but the 49ers are no stranger to bad forward progress calls that cost them the football, so I'll take it. Now there's an idea in football that whenever you have a sudden change of possession like that, you can take advantage of it. And the 49ers do something I've been wanting them to do for, well, maybe a couple of years now, which is as soon as they get the turnover, take a deep shot. And you can see Trey Lance is winding up with that unusual motion because he has Brandon Aiyuk going deep. Now, I don't know if this was necessarily a good decision. The safety does come over to make a play on the football. The pass is broken up, but at the end of this play, we see the flag come out for pass catching interference. Watch Trey Lance take this hit and deliver the football, and here we get a real clear view of why interference was called. Here it looks like Elijah Mitchell is going to be the decoy again for Kyle Juszczyk to go out on a pass route. And again, the Texans are completely prepared for this. But this time the 49ers send Elijah Mitchell out on a route of his own, and he is absolutely wide open, and Lance hits him for an easy touchdown. The score would put the 49ers up 10-7. Let's move ahead to the fourth quarter. Do you think the Texans are sending a blitz on third down here? They do indeed, and it's picked up, but the pressure is on, so Lance needs to get this ball out. Again, the back foot hits, and not only does Lance get the ball out quickly, he makes another dazzling throw. Watch as he starts this throwing motion well before, and I mean well before, Jennings even makes his break. That is good stuff. Now Jennings turns around and this ball is right on him, and he makes a great catch. Little frustration starting to show from the Houston Texans. Now what if I told you that Lance followed that up with an even better throw? The 49ers start off with another run fake to Elijah Mitchell, and the Texans bite hard on this fake. When they realize their mistake, suddenly everybody is running in the other direction. And here's when we see a great route by Deebo Samuel. And Trey Lance makes a great throw, keeping this ball away from the safety. Notice, of course, if Deebo had just tried to run deep, the safety would be in position to make a play on this football. And Lance didn't throw it there either. Quarterback and receiver are on the same page for a huge play. And Deebo takes it into the end zone for a touchdown, and the 49ers go up 10 points now, 17-7 in the fourth quarter. Lance is definitely a rookie, but he got better and better and better as the game went on. One thing we haven't really had time to talk about, special teams played better in this game than they have in a long time, and that was real refreshing to see. Also refreshing to see is the 49ers taking all of these deep shots, putting pressure on the defense. We talked last week about how explosive their offense was, and here you see again that the deep throw adds an extra dynamic and element to this team. This pocket is tight, but Trey Lance feels very comfortable in the pocket, and you could make the argument that this throw was risky, but notice he does throw it away from the defender, and I think their feet get tangled up here, but Kittle's still able to make a spectacular catch. And it just puts the exclamation point on this game, and it puts the 49ers in position to tack on another field goal, going up 20-7. Well, what can I say about Trey Lance? He looked pretty bad at times, but then he also had some dazzling throws in the second half. He improved as the game went on, and can you really ask any more of that of your rookie? You see the awesome potential that he brings to the table, and why the 49er coaches are so excited about him. Will he be able to duplicate this performance against a much better defense in the LA Rams next week? That remains to be seen, but I think we can all agree that there's a lot of excitement in the future for the 49ers and for Trey Lance. They've got a guy who can really get this ball down the field, learns from his mistakes in game. Do you know how rare that is for a rookie? It's just an exciting time. Special teams, like I said, played better in this game. They would end up tacking on another field goal before the end of it. The 49ers win this one big, 23-7. And the defense played pretty good too. Now again, this is against the Texans, but against the Rams, will they be able to reproduce that performance? And this is really what it's all going to come down to this very last week. Here's the scenario. I'm sure you've heard it by now, but we'll go over it again anyway. What the heck? If the 49ers win, they are in. If the Falcons win, the 49ers are in. If the Falcons lose and the Niners lose, the Saints are in and the Niners are out. Now, that situation is whatever. What I have a problem with is the Eagles could be in with the same record as the 49ers, even though the Niners have a head-to-head win against them in the regular season. To me, that represents a problem with the tie-breaking procedures. And it's only arising this year because they added the third wildcard team. So it's an interesting problem to have, I guess. The bottom line is, if the 49ers handle business on their own, they're going to go to the playoffs, and they're going to go to the playoffs with an exciting young rookie that can make things happen down the field. And you know what they say, in the playoffs, anything can happen. Now, what will come of that, who can say? We do have to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. There are some reports that he's practicing on a limited basis and may try to play. He's talking about the pain he has in his hand, however, whenever he throws the football. I understand this is a really big game against the Rams in the final week of the season to make the playoffs, and the playoffs are everything, right? Bonus, Mercedes. So I can see why they might be a little reluctant to put their rookie backup quarterback in the game. Having said that, I still don't think Garoppolo plays. The switch has been made to Trey Lance, And he didn't look terrible as the game progressed, right? I didn't see anything in that game to say, no, he's not ready yet, pull him out. In fact, quite the opposite. The moment was not too big for Trey Lance, and that's important for a 21-year-old kid to be able to come into a game like that with the poise and the calm to lead his team to the win, play through his mistakes, and get a big win that they needed down the stretch in December. That's big. I was very impressed with the kid. And like I said after the Arizona game, I think he should be the starter. Jimmy Garoppolo has done some great things for this team, underappreciated at times. That's just a fact. But at the end of the day, the 49ers have decided to make a change, and it is a business decision. We'll find out how that plays out in the offseason. Right now, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We still got one game to go. It's the LA Rams next week. Boy, what a crazy weekend next weekend is going to be in the NFL. All right, folks. I know how excited you were to see Trey Lance in action. I really want to thank you for coming to the channel and checking out the X's and O's with me. It takes a long time to make a video like this. If you could give me just 2 seconds and hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. All right, it's Niners, it's Rams. It's a big rivalry, right? And you know we are going to be here to break down that film after that game, and I will see you guys then.